Okay, so good morning guys and welcome back to the channel. Odin Valhalla Rising is finally coming out tomorrow and you can even download the game right now. Super excited, but anyway guys, today I'm sharing a simple day one checklist. Basically the things I'll be personally be doing. Feel free to copy it if you want or just take whatever makes sense to you. As I always say, only takes what benefits you and ignore what doesn't. That's how gaming and even life becomes easier. Okay, so first on our checklist, choosing the server. So unlike the other MMO like ROMC, where there's only one big server, in Odin Valhalla Rising, there will be multiple servers. Now, for my Filipino friends out there, it looks like most Pinoy players are planning to go for Asia Server 6. So if you're Pinoy, Server 6 might be a good choice. As for me, I'll probably join Server 6 too, but I might also make an extra account in another global server since I'm currently based outside Asia. Second on our checklist is creating alt characters. After you create your main character and choose your main class, I highly suggest creating your alt characters right away. And very important, same main class. I know it sounds like a hassle, especially when early leveling is slow and painful, but I think it's better to reserve your slots now while servers are still open. Later on, when your main gets stronger, you can easily speedrun your alts using your old gears. Another reason to stick to the same class for your alts is actually the gacha rewards. If your alts are the same class as your main, your gacha tickets will give you avatars that your main can use to. Otherwise, you'll get useless avatars for other classes. Okay, so third on our checklist, focus on finishing main story and side quests. During day one, your main goal should be pushing the main story and side quests as far as you can. From my experience, you will probably get stuck around the spider boss somewhere around level 35. That spider boss is the first major wall that will test your gear and stats. If you find yourself struggling, that's normal. You need to pause and start gearing up at that point. And fourth on our checklist, gearing up your character. So once you hit the wall at Spider Boss or feel stuck on any kind on quest, maybe it's time to craft basic green gears and enhance them to +5. And that's the safe zone actually. So guys, no need to risk higher enhancement on day one. So after getting +5 on the early days, I think instead of using all of your materials, crafting things, I think it might be better to sell it first since the price in the market will be very high for sure. But this one guys, still it depends. Maybe the server will give us something like this, a time limited gears, but I doubt. For sure they're not going to give this kind of items. I think what they're going to do is they will offer a starter pack, and that will be our next checklist. Okay, so fifth on our checklist, this one is optional, buying the starter pack, but not sure guys if they're going to offer the same thing. But let me show you real quick this starter pack in the shop. So here, this one will cost, if you will convert this to dollars, this is around $40, or in pesos, it will be around 2,300 pesos. And here are the gears that you can use. Like, man, these are +7 green set. And also you're going to get these food maps and also these scroll buffs. And guys, you can use all of these buffs like food buffs plus scroll buffs together at the same time, which this combo buffs is crazy good for early progress. So if you're willing to spend around $40 or about 2,300 pesos, here's a starter pack in the shop that will give you a huge advantage early on. Yeah, but as for me, I'm going full F2P this time. No starter packs, no battle pass, nothing. Just pure time and effort. Because guys, recently I shifted to a work a little and play a lot lifestyle. That's why I switched to a part-time job, working just once or twice a week, enough to cover rent, bills, and food, and no future savings. Crazy, right? Yeah, but I have a lot of time right now, and I'm currently dedicating my time in playing MMO games. Yeah, I know this one is really crazy, but I've been doing this for almost 2 months now, which is why you're seeing me uploading so many videos. I know I earn little right now, but man, nothing beats the joy of playing games. Yeah, but guys, I just want to add a little bit more about the spending topic. So if you're really planning to spend real money in this game, especially on day one, then I think I will recommend spending it on the starter pack. However, to really justify your decision and make it a smart move, you need to make sure that somehow during the early days you can control some of the resources coming from the elite monsters. Because honestly, that's the main purpose of buying this kind of starter pack, to get ahead of other players. For F2P like us, it will take a lot more time before we even have this kind of gears. But if you're a spender, you have the chance to dominate early farming. That's why, again, buy the starter pack only if you have the time and commitment to take advantage of the early hours or early days in farming elite monster resources. That's how you can somehow get an ROI, or return on investment, for what you spent. Now, the only possible problem I'm seeing here for those who will spend early is this: what if someone else, or even an entire group, spends like 20 times more than you? Meaning, even if you spend some money, you might still end up losing control of the elite monster resources. And in the end, you might find yourself just like us, F2P players, grinding in the open world instead of competing for elites. Yeah, but even if that happens, there's still a big advantage for spenders. You can farm faster, you have more farming options because your DPS will be way higher than most of us F2P players. Yeah, and also guys, if you're spending real money, instead of competing with other whales, it's smarter to join them. Party up, coordinate, and share the farming spot. Now, for my fellow F2P players, the reason I'm telling you all of this is so that you can manage your expectation. Like, progress will be slower compared to spenders. I'm just saying this early so that you won't feel disappointed later on, especially if you have that competitive spirit inside you. And guys, this is actually the new normal in mobile MMO nowadays. If you're pure F2P, I think you don't need to stress too much thinking about what's the best class to choose. Just pick whatever class you feel you'll enjoy the most, because at the end of the day, even you pick the strongest class, you'll still be outscaled by whale. I mean, outclassed by whales. Okay, so anyway, guys, 6 on our checklist focus on item collection. So, item collections are very important. They give permanent stats like attack and accuracy, and most collections materials come from the elite monsters in the open world. But fighting for loot from these elites can be really hard in the early days, especially that it looks like loot goes to whoever deals the most damage, or maybe last hit. Well, this one is still not 100% confirmed, but loot system is between these two, like most damage and last hit. Okay, so if it's too hard to get elite drops, I'll probably just AFK farm materials and sell them in the market, and then maybe just buy the drops from the elite. Okay, so we're going to become like a trader. So to this one. Okay, so seventh on our checklist is related to AFK farming. I probably create 2 accounts, or maybe more. Since Odin on PC allows 2 clients open at once, yeah, I might create 2 accounts. Because actually guys, grinding with a party gives you bonus XP and gold. Plus, when the dungeons also unlock, it will be easier to run them with your own alt party. Yeah, but if you have friends playing, that's even better. And 8 on our checklist is treasure hunting. So guys, one of the things you might want to consider doing during the early days, and something I'll probably be doing too, is treasure hunting. So in every map, there are actually treasures you can find, but you can only collect them once. By collecting this treasure, you will get different types of gacha tickets. So I will display the map here on the screen, so make sure to take a screenshot. These are the location of all treasures in the map you're playing. Next on our checklist is AFK farming. Now, in this part, I can't really give you an exact farming spot because the in-demand items and materials can be different depending on your server. But here's how I can help. If you go to the public market, you can actually browse materials and even check their price history so that you see if there's a demand for the items. So you can click here, check the source, and from here you will know which monsters you can farm while AFK. And the general rule for AFK farming is you want to kill monsters really fast. The faster you kill, the more the chances you will have for a loot to drop, and you will save a lot of potions as well. And For choosing good farming spot, ideally pick a place where there are not too many people. That's why I cannot give a specific spot, because if everyone goes there, it's no longer a good spot, right? So I just want to help you to understand the concept of how to find your own best farming location. But to help a little bit, just my guess, guys, I think that the in-demand materials during early days will be first those you use for an item collection, especially the DPS parts like attack and accuracy stats. And next might be the materials needed for crafting blue gears. And based on my experience, these are really hard to get on early days. Before I was farming these materials here in this spot, and also I farm here in this spot. And I think, guys, this material will be very expensive at the start. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Also, there are materials that you use for upgrading gears, and those you will mostly get from dungeon farming, which leads us to the next checklist. So 10th on our checklist is dungeons. Okay, so guys, on day one, I believe that we'll be able to unlock dungeons, and we really should, because we're going to miss out on our daily 1 hour dungeon farming if we don't. At first, you will unlock 2 dungeons, so make sure do both, and make sure you're in a party to get bonus XP and bonus gold. So again, just like I mentioned earlier, I might create a 1 month party for this one. Also, you will notice that there's another dungeons that's unlocked here. So don't worry about unlocking this on day one, because this one is actually a weekly dungeon, and it resets every Monday at 4 a.m. So I think the best time to farm in this dungeon would be over the weekend or just before Monday when you're stronger. So meaning you can farm more efficiently. And last one, guys, this is actually a lot, right? To be honest, like a lot of checklists. Though this game has offline farming and mostly auto attacks, it can still feel time demanding at first. But honestly, it makes sense. Like this game was originally released in South Korea back in 2021. That's about 4 years ago. So, back then, heavy grinding in mobile MMOs was still pretty much the norm. It's just the way games were designed at the time. Now, the final item on our checklist is the town quest. This is something you need to do on day one, because this quest reset every day. But guys, if you feel like you don't have enough time to finish all of your daily quests, it's okay. Yeah, that's totally fine. Just accept all 7 of your town quests and keep them. That way, when the reset happens, you still be able to grab the next day town's quest. All right? And that's it, guys. So that's our how many is this? 11 checklists. Oh man. 11 checklists. Okay, so guys, thank you very much and happy gaming. See you tomorrow in the game.